Welcome to Obi-Wan Studios, and today I'm reviewing the 75092 Naboo Starfighter, continuing with our theme of looking back at sets based off of the Phantom Menace for its 25th anniversary in 2024. This Naboo Starfighter released in June of 2015 for $50 and retired at the end of 2016. Today, sealed in the box like my example here, you can expect to pay around $180 based on sales data from Brick Economy, although most examples I found, like mine, cost more. This set contains 442 pieces and 9 total figures, 3 of which being traditional minifigs and then a few droids. We have a Battle Droid Commander, 2 regular B1 Battle Droids, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, a Naboo pilot who is exclusive to this set, R2-D2, and then 2 destroyer droids as well. This specific design of them also is exclusive to this set, so that's pretty cool, and overall, a really great lineup of both minifigs and droids. When it comes to the box art, I really love this one. We have Anakin being taken away in the N1 Starfighter with that autopilot, flying it out of the hangar while the whole battle is going on. I just overall think it looks so cool. The back of the box is a little bit busy with all of the features of the set highlighted, and there is a lot going on with this set. Alright, it's time to unseal this set, and if you want to support the channel and my reviews, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. And now, let's open up this Naboo Starfighter. Inside of the box, we have the instructions manual and a pretty hefty sticker sheet along with 4 numbered bags in total. Starting off with the minifigures first, we have our Battle Droid Commander. Getting a different Battle Droid variant is always so nice, so this Commander version is a very awesome and welcome addition. We also have 2 regular B1 Battle Droids as well, which is great, but that Commander really steals the show. Obi-Wan Kenobi is next, and overall I do like this episode 1 version of him. I just have one core issue with this minifig that we get every single time, and it's how his second face print sticks out a lot below his hairpiece. It just does not look good at all. Both face prints from the front, however, do look good at least, and his printing for the Jedi robes as well is pretty nice. We have his blue lightsaber too, and besides that one issue of the hairpiece and the second face print, this Obi-Wan is pretty good. And then we have our episode 1 version of Anakin Skywalker, and overall, he's a pretty good minifig too. The hairpiece I think works fine, and then the 2 face prints also look pretty good, along with the front printing and the back printing. That's, I think, the strongest part of his minifig overall. He also comes with this pilot helmet too as an additional accessory, which is a great touch. You can have him wearing that when he goes in the N1 Starfighter. Overall, I just think this is a pretty good version of Episode 1 Anakin Skywalker. The Naboo pilot is our exclusive minifig in the set, and easily the best one in my opinion. He comes with a pilot's helmet as you'd expect, and only 1 face print, but his body printing and color scheme is what really makes him so good. It just looks fantastic. I love the red printing under the tan jacket and how it matches the pants. It's such a good look. And then the brown gloves for the hands too, I think just looks so sharp overall. Plus, he has a really great looking back print too. This is really just a stellar minifig and a highlight of the entire set for me personally, to be honest. Moving on to our R2-D2, and this is overall just a good version of R2. The only part that holds him back compared to today's standards and today's version of R2 is the lack of back printing, but otherwise we have just a solid and good looking R2-D2. Lastly, we have our 2 droidicas or destroyer droids. This specific version of the build is exclusive to this set too, which is pretty cool. The design overall I think is not too bad. I do like the addition of stickers for the shield generators as well. Those look nice. And then you can roll them up into somewhat of a ball, which is a fun play feature. Overall, these just aren't too bad looking droidica builds. Taking our minifigs and droids together, there is a lot when it comes to this set. It's such a great balance of characters and droids too. Like, we generally have some droid opposition for Obi-Wan and that Naboo pilot with 5 total droids to fight. For me, the highlights are easily that Naboo pilot and the Commander Battle Droid version 2. Overall, this set has great figs and a great selection. And now we can move on to our builds, and of course we have the N1 Starfighter, but this set comes with all of these additional little builds. If you care about play features, then this is a pretty great thing, but let's dive into the N1 Starfighter build first, and then those additional builds. Our N1 Starfighter is a really good looking build overall, maybe a little bit bulky at the back end and not quite as smooth looking as you would want, but overall I do like the design of it. That yellow also sure does pop out at you, which is always a nice thing when it comes to displaying these playscale builds. At the front of the N1 we have some stickers for the torpedo tubes and then 2 more to add in the transition from gray to yellow. Those look pretty nice as well. Underneath the nose we have a pair of spring-loaded shooters. To fire them you move this Technic pin under the build to either side, and they are fully hidden from view so they don't affect the display factor of the build, which I very much appreciate. Overall, I think the shaping of the wings and the engines looks pretty solid. We have some more stickers over here too, and I really like the translucent blue piece for the thrust. That especially looks so good. Turning to the cockpit area, we have some more stickers, 2 of which are actually on either side of the windshield, and let me tell you, these were a pain to put on, but they do look really good when done properly. To access the cockpit, the windshield just tilts up and then we can place Anakin inside. There is also a stickered control panel that's accurate to what we see in the movie, and I really love how that looks. I feel like that's an underappreciated part when it comes to this set. Just behind the cockpit we have the astromech docking port, and we can place R2-D2 inside of it. Now there is another play feature here too to actually eject R2 out. You push up with some force on this other Technic pin under the build to forcefully eject him out of that astromech docking port, and it's overall a pretty fun play feature, a little tricky to get him to actually launch out, but if you hit it just right, he will launch out of there. Then we have the longer tail of the N1 as well, which like the ones on the engines, I think it looks fairly good too. Like I mentioned, the section just is a little bit bulky. Okay, now turning to all of our additional builds that come with the set, there is a little missile carrier that holds the extra spring-loaded shooters, 2 on each side. This build actually I think looks pretty good, especially that the wheels are hidden nicely as well, so it looks like it's floating on repulsors. So this is a nice little addition that you can pretend to load the missiles into the N1 Starfighter with, and you can actually see that this thing is based on a little build kind of weapons thing in the movie, so props to the designers for trying to make it accurate and include something that we actually see in the hangar. Next we have this little weapons crate. There is a sticker on top of it which looks pretty good, and then inside we have 3 separate little spots for 3 blasters to go. Next we have what I think is easily the best additional build with the set, the stand for the Naboo Starfighter. Now of course in the movie the Starfighters are just hovering in place when they're in the hangar, but this kind of helps represent that and also just makes the ship look a lot better on display, and I do like this addition a lot. The stand does rotate around as well, so you can spin the Starfighter and just pose it however you want. Another nice touch. We also get a little fuel pump build, and it's a pretty cool concept. You have the actual fuel tank which has a printed meter piece, and then these translucent green pieces which show what I assume to be the fuel. The hose end can attach to this clip or the top part when not in use, and then you can move it around pretty freely thanks to the Technic joint and general bend the hose piece has. You can then take that end of the fuel hose and attach it to the engine of the N1, so there is another pretty cool play feature that comes with this build, and you do also see the fuel pumps in the hangar in the movie too, so it's another addition that is also accurate to the movie at least. The last additional build goes with the stand, and it's the ladder to actually reach the cockpit and get in. In the movie the ladder is all yellow, so I just wish LEGO actually gave us the accurate color for it, but they did include the little pole on the side of it, so they got that right. When you look at this set in its entirety, wow, you get so much in this set. You have a great minifigure selection along with a handful of droids, which is fantastic, and then the main N1 build I think is very good. Plus, you get all of these additional builds to fill in some scenery from the hangar. This is genuinely just such a good set. It looks good on display with that included stand, and it's full of play features too between all the characters, all the droids, and the additional builds. It's just a complete package for an Episode 1 Naboo Starfighter set, and I'm not really sure what else you would want out of a set like this, to be honest. It's obviously hard to say if it's worth picking up for around that $180 price point today, but if you're a big Episode 1 fan and don't own a version of the N1 Starfighter from Episode 1, it's certainly a good set to consider adding to your LEGO Star Wars collection. Thank you for watching my review of the 75092 Naboo Starfighter. If you enjoyed the review, please leave a like on the video, and as always, let me know your thoughts on the set in the comments down below. And lastly, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel for more LEGO Star Wars set reviews.